evening and welcome to the Laughing Monkey Music Show. Today we have on Bobby. Bobby is the vocal stylist of Pentagram. Welcome back. How are you?
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you,
Good.
Sean.
Good to see you too, man. I know you've been sick lately. You've been and touring and sick and then touring again, right?
Yeah, and then sick and touring.
And
Yeah,
then touring again.
happens
But
every
could you?
time. That's one sure bet. You know.
But this year you've really been on the road a lot though. You've been traveling a lot.
Yeah, we did travel a whole lot. I mean, a lot of flying too. You know, when we were in South America, we were there like 14 days, and we had like 15 or 16 flights
Wow, that's crazy.
every single day, and I had to play that night.
How is it? How is it touring for you at this point now? Because with COVID, but I mean the bands, the popularity just keeps getting stronger and stronger though too. Like because COVID kind of froze time, and I think some bands lost momentum. Obviously, you're a legacy act, being as you've proven yourself.
Yeah, we play the
But
same old stale set every time,
oh,
everywhere.
oh, stop! Oh, guys, it could be
At
stand up
least you
Bobby
don't have
here.
to rehearse as much.
Yeah, true. Point is, you've established who you are, that you can deliver the goods. You know,
Thank
but younger people are coming into your music more, I bet, right? And especially overseas. It feels like metal gets very
you.
excited over there.
Oh my God, like Europe has always, been a big reception when we get there. And then first time in South America, I absolutely was floored. I was dumbstruck. I
Really,
mean, I went off the stage each night going, holy Christ, what the hell? I mean, people are going wacko. It was,
really.
yeah, it was just so surreal. I mean, it's girls crying and screaming and pulling on their hair like the Beatles. And that's why I was saying, oh my God, maybe I
I
made it.
you know but when it happens though, isn't it kind of like I don't know what to do with that? Like you're like, how do I register that as a human being? Because you're like, you see it and you're like, oh my god, that's gonna be crazy. The Beatles, like when you're younger, right? But you've obviously gone through this before, and then like when it really happens, and people get that way around you, you're like literally one leg at a time. Put my jeans on. I have a cough. You know, I got itch in
Yeah.
the back of my head, and people are crying. You're like, I'm glad you appreciate my music, but I don't know what to do with this.
Yeah, I really didn't know how to process it. There was a girl that she came to Colombia and she had come from Mexico just to get the first album signed. Okay, and
That is
she was behind
awesome.
like like she was behind like 200 people who were fighting to try to get to the van when we were leaving. Because every place we left, they had to have escorts and police like keeping us, to get into the
Wow.
van. And so she's crying and screaming at the top of her voice, please, please, I have to talk to them. No. And so finally I was like, I couldn't take it anymore. It was like, it made me sad. I said, see that girl way back there, get her and bring her up to the van. And she goes, no, thank you, please. I come from Mexico. And
Aw,
I was
that's
just
sweet.
touched. It brings tears to your eyes. It does.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. It's very flattering that your music is
It-
that powerful. Something that you
it's
create.
humbling too. It's
The humbling
humbling.
is perfect. You're right.
It
It is,
is.
but it's also like on another planet. But then I know you. We've talked about this before. You're a big fan too. When you get crazy, as I get crazy over an artist's music, we're like, oh my god, this is awesome. So you
I
kind of
tear
do
up.
both sides, right? Exactly.
Yeah, I tear up always. I
You have
can't
a
believe
leg on
there
me.
really is the person, and they're touchable, and they're actually standing here. They're not in
Right.
a picture or a video. It's like they're real. Yeah,
It's
that's the
funny because
surreal part.
you're on both sides of the fence, right? So it's kind of neat that you get
Yeah,
to do that.
it is.
But the fact
It,
that I love that you guys are getting so much accolades over there. I mean, and obviously over here, but I mean, this is awesome. You know, you put your time in,
well, yeah, it's been a few years.
a couple,
How
a hot
many?
minute.
Yeah, that's why I like this shirt because it says 50 and it's crossed out and says no 51 on some of the shirts. 50 years here, no 51. It says.
Big line through. So what else has been going on with music? Because you've been working on some other music too. You want to share
Yep.
that?
Yeah, just a little though.
I mean, you have a
Um,
Facebook group, so it's out there. It's not like it's top secret.
yeah. The limit, yeah.
Yes.
Uh,
Can we talk about that a little bit?
uh, we're working on another album currently.
Excellent.
There's really not a lot to say yet. We had to add some. some touches. Fabian Dahmers hasn't done
Okay.
his lead work. We have to, of course, have to mix it. That's going to be remote to Portugal, to Germany, to da da da. So it'll be not till the end
Maybe
of next
summer.
year.
Maybe summer.
I think probably the end of the year.
All right.
We want to make it right. That's all.
Well, no, no, no.
And
I'm
then
just asking.
then you got to negotiate and
Yeah.
all that stuff.
What about Pentagram music?
Pentagram. Wow.
What?
Pentagram is just a little overdue for a new studio album, aren't we?
Yeah,
It's
I
been what,
mean,
8 years?
it's like Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Pentagram. You guys all got that like 8 to 10 year window, right?
8 years it's been. Yeah. It's unnerving.
You might have some material
It's,
by now to write about.
hey, I don't know. We
You toured the
we
world, a
talk
couple
about it.
apocalypses.
We talk about it over and over and over. We have to do another album this year. We've got to do an album in the spring. We got to do blah blah blah, and we go on and on with our Geneva Convention. We haven't pulled together to do yet. It's I'm determined to say if the band stays together through 23, we will have done another one. Damn it! I mean, come on.
I hope so. I mean, your
It's
voice
perturbing to us.
your voice is strong. We've seen what happens to people. You never know what's going to happen to anything, or the time, or touring, or recording, or your health, or another band member's health. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? So it was like
yeah, no kid. I mean,
you
it's
want to get
like
something
time is not on my
in
side.
stone. Well, on anybody's side. I mean, look on the
Right.
paper. I mean,
Yeah.
you're like Keith Richards. You're like you just keep going. And there's like young TikTokers and influencers that you see on the news that are like 32, 50, 16. Like so, like it's just all ages, and people are passing, or other things are happening. So it's like let's do things. Let's get things out there, the world. You
Yeah.
know,
It's three generations we've covered now, and the audience is basically about 80 plus percent 18 to 35.
nice.
It's and they haven't heard a lot of this stuff. So it's pretty neat because when you play something like When the Screams Come for the 60,000th and whatever time, and people get excited, it's like, damn, yeah, good. What is this?
Are you? Have you at the point? Some artists feel like when they hit some songs, they do a lot. They're like, no, I love it every time. I get the energy. Or sometimes they're like, yeah, I can take it or leave it. And sometimes like it depends. Where are you with some of your bigger songs? Like, are you kind of worn on them, or do you like? Does the audience reinvigorate you?
The audience does reinvigorate it, yeah. I mean, even a song like Forever My Queen, it was just, it's
It's been
been
out there for a
played.
while.
Yeah, that's that Relentless, the older tunes, they do get a new vitality to
Well,
them.
especially you have a video out when the songs you have videos out for. They're going to leak on YouTube and they're going to go across the world to Europe and stuff, and that's all they have. And I mean, in YouTube, and that's one of the great thing about like people like a show like this on YouTube or a
Right,
podcast where they can talk to you or get an idea of what you're like. Well, you're
it's
not going to
true.
get that like 20 years ago on a radio interview. You're not going to have this
Right.
conversation. We're not going to have this or like a bootleg show. People are pretty lax about shows going up now online because there's someone in South America that's not going to see this show in New York. You know what I mean?
Right, right. So every
And
night it's a different area that is new to them.
right, it's exciting.
So it does give you the option of variety hunting,
Yeah,
of a sort, right? Just like they're doing, you know. You're
it's
hitting different markets. And,
it's crazy though. I
it,
mean,
yeah, it is pretty wild. I mean, that's to me, being my age, that's the only cool thing about social media. Otherwise, you're paying the ads.
because you're like what? You're 34 or 35. I always forget.
You're close. Not
Close?
far.
36. 36. All right. I didn't want to put it out there. I knew.
Yeah, I didn't want to sell them.
It's a rough 36, but it's 36. I'm only 18. I think you're probably bigger now than you were ever, personally. It feels to me like you were. And especially going from what you were to then and then the movie X amount of years back, you know, is because I mean obviously the movie could have gone up, you could have had a good year. but you didn't. Like the movie just said hello, and you've just grown from there. You know?
Yeah, the last few years since like 19 when we started touring again, and then now post pandemic, it has really gone wacko. It's strange to me. It's hard to accept. It really is because I'm not off stage. I'm pretty shy. I don't know what
Yeah.
to do with myself. I don't know what to say. And it's like, damn, we really got there. I guess of a sort.
Are people expecting things differently of you? I mean, I know you when we talk, we talked, you're pretty chill. Are people expecting you to be something that you're some kind of wild demon Bobby from the movies or the videos? I mean, you got like 50 years of footage out there now. Crazy stuff.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't I don't do this stuff though as a it's not contrived to me, it just happens. It's like,
I
so
know.
they expect, actually I try my damnedest to just be down to earth and cordial because I'm so appreciative that people appreciate it like I always
Yeah.
dreamt of. That's
Well,
pretty cool.
it's deserved. It's deserved. You've got, good music. But you gotta get an album out. I'm not gonna let you go on that one. You gotta get
Yep,
that out this year.
yep,
You gotta talk to the boys. You're the man in charge. Lay down the law. I need a new album.
definitely.
You know.
It's a
What
must. Yeah.
I'm gonna ask you a couple of top questions of some of your favorite music and some other earlier music. But I want to ask you, what is your favorite album you've done? And separately, what is your favorite song you've ever done of your music?
My music? Well,
Spontaneously, yeah, yeah.
my favorite, my favorite album, I tell this all the time, it's never changed, is Sub Basement.
Okay.
And Sub Basement was been with just myself and Joe Hasselbanzer.
Yep.
But it's just such a demented album and so strong that I've always been in love with it. It's really got it's
It's got
overload.
everything.
It really is an overdose album. Yeah, and Out of Luck on there is my favorite song that I've ever written. The music and words too.
Those are good calls on my side. I like that. I like because I couldn't think I could say it would be hard for me with you guys. There's a few bands I really can't do that with, and yours is one of it because each of your albums has a little different of a flavor to me. So it really depends on
Yeah,
what day it is. I can't be
yeah,
like, and this is a thing. Like we said, Metallica. Like Metallica. I know. Like I can throw a Metallica album in almost all of them. If I'm gonna move from Metallica, I'm gonna dig it. It depends what kind of mood I am in for which Pentagram album I listen to. Break
yeah.
from social media. People, watch my show, watch our show here, and then take a break from social media and
Vox.
go outside. And
Make
when you're
sure you
outside
watch today.
today, and then when you're
All of them.
outside
All
riding
of
your bike or taking a walk, put your headphones in or your earbuds and listen to Pentagram. But be outside, be off social media. Go back the old fashioned way and listen to music when you're outside.
That's
Um,
right. It's like the
but
telephone cord
yeah,
at the wall.
it was nice,
Now I've left my house. I'm not around. That's it.
right. It's a weird
Next.
thing. Sometimes I take off my device, I leave it. I won't do it because you don't want to be tethered to it anymore. But
Right. Right.
when you have kids, it's hard, and you have businesses, you got people get in touch with you. It's a weird
Yeah.
thing. So all your years of touring, favorite artist to play with that you've shared a stage with.
That's hard. Boy, that's hard.
Whenever we talk, I never ask any fan questions. I want to get a couple fan questions into the fans because I want everybody get on my case. I never ask you any fan questions. I just
I
BS with you.
one of my very favorites. Well, not toured with, but played with at
Oh yeah.
fest
Well, yeah. Okay. Yes.
is the way I'd have
Cheers.
to do them. The Sonics were really. I was,
Yeah.
like I was like a kid in a candy store. I was dancing on the stage, standing behind Jerry Rosler. He's alive, and Michael Schenker too. Of course, is
Yeah.
an idol of mine. Wishbone Ash.
Concert.
First concert,
What's your first concert?
gig, hell. When was the first time you played live in front of people?
Yeah.
Uh,
If you can remember.
1970, 1972, I think.
Wow.
Uh, at a,
That's impressive.
well, no, the first time I played wasn't with Pentagram,
Right. But
right?
that's so impressive. 1972, quite a while ago. I was
It was
two
my
years
first
old.
band. Well, it was my first band, The Shades of Darkness,
Yeah.
and we played in 1966. And I remember it was at a silo in Warrenton, Virginia, at a dance, and we fit all the equipment and 5 people and the driver in a Cadillac.
Nice.
Go do that now.
But it's still the same. You're still doing the grind. You're still on the road.
You
A lot
still
of
are,
it's
yeah.
really just the
And
same.
it's still hurry up and wait when you get there.
Yeah,
That's
it
all that
is.
you're taking. Just hurry up and wait. Everywhere you go. You stand around, twiddle your thumbs. Well, when do we do this? It's kind of weird. Yeah.
When you're actually relaxing. So like, so basically, you just been on the road all the time, or you just so you've been back for like what, a couple weeks now, a month or so.
I've been back for a little over a month.
What do
Got
you
back
what do
in.
you what are you
What
doing
do
to
I do?
relax?
I watch a lot of baseball games. You know?
Yeah, a
When
big sports guy.
baseball season, I don't miss baseball. And then I watch football games, and then I eat and eat and eat and eat.
Well, you're only like 15 pounds though, so you can afford to eat and eat and eat without gaining weight. You're one of the few people that can do that.
When I eat a meal, I gain like 3 pounds, and then the next day I've lost it, and it's weird.
That's
It's
crazy.
like buy the meal. You know? Yeah.
See, as like COVID happened, I gained some weight, and then I gained some weight on top of that weight. Like my COVID weight gained some COVID weight. Like it's been a
Yep.
the
I did
world's
that too, but
changed.
now I got rid of my tummy, and I'm proud as hell of that. It was like good, done.
Well, you're on tour. You're moving around a little bit. You know,
Yeah, yeah. That's what it was. Activity.
right? And at my
Just not
job,
laying.
we were off site, and I was at a temp site. I do IT, and I was at like a little temporary site between our building we were moving. But because no one was in, I was just sitting. Now we moved to a new nice building. They redid it. There's like it's in a big building, big fancy building, and we got 2 floors of it. So I'm up and down the stairs. I'm moving around again.
Does
You
it have a
know,
gym?
there is, but I won't go to it. At least I'm tired of lying to myself.
Yeah.
Like I literally, I'm like, I just need to walk. I need to move. You know, I need a purpose. I think going to the gym it doesn't think it's a purpose to me.
Exactly. See, when I'm here, there really isn't. I'm
Right.
like, it's a bummer all the time. I'm here by
And
myself.
you notice it's because I'm vanity. Like I can't if I can't I don't have enough vanity to be like I gotta look at the gym and work out because I'm looking bad. I'm like, yeah, I get it. I don't look good. I wash out better. But I don't
Who
have
cares?
that much motivation. Yeah, but I'm not that concerned about how I look enough to actually go and put the energy into it. I'm like that. So maybe it's good you don't have that much ego, but that you're kind of lazy. Yeah.
I am the laziest SOB you have ever seen walking. So I'm just, I'm a beach whale. I really am.
Yeah.
It's like, why do I bother? I don't care. I can change my shirt the last 4 or 5 days. You know,
What's the
nobody will
plans for you?
tell me that there's nobody here.
No, you're on holiday now.
Yeah.
How long are you guys down for? A couple weeks? I
Oh,
wasn't even looking at your schedule.
God, do I wish. No, we have nothing in sight, man.
Oh, really?
Nothing is, we haven't even scheduled yet at all. And yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, I think it's weird too. Very weird.
Because that's
But,
just usually aren't your agents or people or whoever handles your handlers usually or someone's like trying to get something going like into the year.
uh, they're now just starting to talk to places because we haven't been to the West Coast since 16. Want that to be the first. I'd like it to be the first tour of the next year, but
Yeah,
I don't know what's going to happen. We talked also about seriously talked about doing the new album also in the March area.
that would
But
be a good time to do it if you know it's got nothing going on.
yeah,
You know, maybe head up in the
so
New England area for a little warm up show up in the New England area for some of us.
we've been up there. We just
I know.
came.
I know. I didn't
Yeah,
make that one.
where
Actually, you know, chill. I wanted to go to the one that what was it? The Wizard of the Blizzard Fest. What was it? It was in Atlanta.
Oh yeah,
I couldn't
in
make that one.
Atlanta, Snowblind,
It's so fun. I wish
Snowblind.
I could have gone. That was right
That
around
was
the time.
great.
Yeah, I had just seen Scott, why now Scott I think a couple weeks
Mhm.
before that. I caught him in somewhere in Connecticut now. I don't even know what town it was in. I don't Space Ballroom or something. I'd never been there before. Uh for their show.
They have the same agent that we do, and I don't know even some of the towns. I mean,
Yeah, I didn't either. I was like, oh, it's close enough for me. If you get within
we
an
played
hour and a half of
Spartanburg,
me,
South Carolina. We played Huntsville, Alabama. Like, mm. Go figure.
Huntsville, Alabama. Wow, it's really out there.
Yeah, it is. I won't go into that one.
Well, I actually, well, the funny thing is, I went to school in Atlanta. I'm from obviously New England, in Connecticut. But for college, I went to, I got a degree in recording in video and audio, 1990, 89, 90. So I went down to Atlanta for my degree. But
Oh,
everybody
okay.
in the area were Southerners. So like on school breaks, my buddy, Huntsville, Alabama, he had a place down there and his family had some money. So I went home with him for like the holidays because I'm not going to go away to Connecticut again.
Right.
And they had like, I think they had like a car dealership or something because like there was like a parade. I remember there was like a parade and the family all drove cars or something. And they're like, here's some keys to like a Corvette or something crazy. We need next person driving. Can you give a license? I'm like, yeah. They're like, here, you can drive this
You're
Corvette.
afraid.
I had just gone to their house. It was so weird, And I'm like, I don't know. I've never been there before. And I'm like, all right. So I literally was in this parade driving this Corvette. I, I forgot about that stuff. I forgot about that for like freaking 30 years. But I was there one time for like 2 days. Um, that's a funny memory to remember all of a sudden.
That is
But
weird. Yeah.
it's a small town though. It's a small, very spacious.
Yes. Well, all the southern places like that, or the Carolinas and
Yeah.
into Georgia and places, stuff like that.
How's the draw there for you?
Lousy.
I think that's
Yeah.
for a lot of bands though. I mean, who is it like? So like, I think it's a hard gig for someone like that, for anybody, like any rock bands, because people are like, oh, I want to go out tonight, especially if it's a weeknight. Well, it's a Friday or Saturday. It's gonna hurt you.
Mhm.
I got a town not that far from me, Stafford, Connecticut. Uh, they got a place called
Stanford?
Stafford. Yeah,
Oh,
Stafford.
Stanford.
They have a place called the Palace.
Okay.
Now, I don't think Sebastian Bach a couple years ago. I didn't go to the show, but I don't even know if he filled it. You know, I'm not saying anything positive or negative, but we know he's been popular. You know, he had some platinum albums. It's not a huge place, but still, it's a hard fill for anybody. Some of these outer places, just because of where it's at.
They're out of the way. They're in the boondocks somewhere,
Yeah.
They
Well,
really
like
are.
for me to get Stafford, it would take me like 45. My wife said she was like, she really hadn't been there before. So we went there the other day. I said, yeah, it's funny. You get off the highway and it says like you're going to Stafford, and then there's like another 15 minutes to go into it. You actually drive through like three more town lines and to go back into the town again, over the river, through the woods, and then you're back in the main street, and then that's where the palace, where the club would be. So it's like it's a long drive to go see
We
a
did the
band on a
same kind of
Wednesday
thing.
night, on a work night.
Yeah, we did that on a Tuesday, I think it was. We had to go to Chesapeake, Virginia, right? Which is like about 20 minutes from Virginia Beach, but it's nothing there except military base. And we thought, are we playing for the service people tonight? Well, we didn't know. We had no idea. I thought it was going to be like Virginia Beach. We played there in 16, had a good crowd and everything. It was party. And
Yeah,
then,
you know. I was envisioning when you said that military, I think like Spinal Tap play at the
hey, that's
military
where I
base. Yeah,
started playing was for all military people when I started playing in the first, years of my career. It
it's a
was
good
all
audience.
service people. Yeah, it was all Vietnam people, draftees, and NCO clubs and service clubs and stuff like that. 1, 2, 3 clubs. They're all coming and going to Nam.
Rock,
And, it's cool.
is more of an everyday. Maybe it used to be. I can't say it now. The world's really changed a lot in the past 20
Yeah, it
years.
has. Yeah,
But
yeah,
in the 70s, you really felt like it was like you had your stations. Stations as I mean place, not radio stations. Like you had your silos or whatever, swim lanes.
yeah.
But now everybody, I just saw somebody post something about Finland or Iceland or one of those countries. Like the prime minister is a 36-year-old woman at some metal show or something,
You never used
right?
to see a politician at a metal
Oh,
show. It
so
was
at
like,
30,
wow,
yeah. First off, you're that age, 36,
right?
a female prime minister. Well, Europe's a lot more advanced than the U.S. is. So it's awesome. So yeah. So you're young, you're a female, and you're a metalhead, and you're a prime minister. Yes,
Yeah. There's no telling now.
right.
There's no way to measure it. Yeah.
But culturally, you've seen so much though. Like almost like a historical thing though, right? The changing of time as you've toured.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The times have, it's drastic now. Now it's very, plus you get the wisdom with the years, and you really reflect more on, Jesus, wow, it's a trip.
It's got to be. I mean, like, especially because you had the 70s and it was like America. Within the 80s, you had like the Reaganomics where we got kind of puffy and everyone was like, USA is the best place. And then like the 90s and early 2000s, things kind of bubble started busting. The internet kind of started opening up the world. And the world was more aware of everything.
It did. The economy changed really
Right.
drastically. It did. I mean, like the post pandemic price of everything has gone up a third.
Yeah.
A third. That's that's a little bit of inflation there. And so you go
Well,
on if you go on tour before it and you go on tour afterwards for the same money, you make nada.
and that's here's the part of the show where I tell everybody if you see the band come in town, obviously I'm talking about Bobby and the boys. If you see a band that you want to see, don't wait. Even if it's a Wednesday night, you got to go to the Palace or you got to go to Chesapeake Bay or wherever you got to go. You need to see them because and you're going to confirm this with me, getting vans has been a pain in the butt this past year for touring vans because everybody did it at once. Gas has gone up
Right?
a third to a half.
Oh my
Then
God, the
and
gas in
then
Europe.
and
Wow.
then take a minute. Let's talk about people like these shirts cost too much. Here's let me. I'm gonna complain for you, people. The band has to buy the shirts up front. Then they got to put them in something. They got to drag them behind them. Then
Right?
they're paying for the gas, the drag of carrying these shirts to have the right sizes, so people don't complain about the wrong size and the wrong design, and it costs too much. So they got all the money up front. Then when they get to the venue, some of the venues take like 20, 25%. It's like the mob, and then you
Yes,
get
they
taxed.
are really.
Right, right.
They
So
tap you and that's it. You're gonna pay or you're not gonna play.
that is the worst. Is that a venue hits you up for that?
It's
That to
true.
me is kind of cold, especially now, even worse. So
And
you
at
get a chance,
festivals, you don't sell as much merch.
right? Well, because there's so
Festivals, you
much
think you
too.
sell more, but there's so many bands selling their stuff that we didn't take merch into three or four of them. We played 5 festivals in Europe out
Yeah,
of 12 gigs or something like that. We didn't bother with the merch. It was like,
really.
why unload it? We can sell 5 shirts. It's like,
Well, that's the thing. Then you got to find somebody who's going to do it. Either it's going to be a roadie, or it's going to be somebody's friend, or a girlfriend, or a boyfriend. And then are they going to do you a favor? Are you going to pay him? I mean, then
yeah,
there's a
they have
whole
to
right. And then
multitask within
right, and then
your group.
your group, and then is it fair for somebody? And then someone's always getting the bad end of the stick. So if people see the opportunity to see the band, and somebody's standing at the merch table, buy some merch. Do it. It's not. It helps keep the machine going. It's you're working towards a break even. Live like a comfortable thing. Like so you can buy cigarettes. You're not living in a mansion. You're living in a nice place. You want to eat. You want to have health care. You want to keep performing. That's all.
That's
It's
all to
nothing
do the
crazy,
things that other people get to do in
right?
their normal job life and so forth. This is my normal job life.
Right.
All I want to do is just be able to eat, have a roof on my head, and have clothes on.
The days
Watch TV.
of the Bon Jovis, and I say this, I'm not even making a dig at Bon Jovi, but I'm saying of the big rock bands being able to go on a bus and sell a shirt for $50, and they've got these great things. And if a band earns that point to them, bless their hearts. But this isn't the same reality. There's no such thing as a rock star is not the same. Like, I mean, you talk about the fans, the attention you were getting. You were still in probably in a Econoline bus, going to an okay hotel. You had the same food that everybody else eat. You're not eating caviar.
We were in South America. We were in a van
Right.
from the hotel. Now the hotels they put us in, thank God, were real nice and they fed us
Good.
like kings. But
Awesome.
we're just in a van up and back and trying to make the time at the airport every day. And then, it becomes overload, man. All the
Yeah.
shit you got to do through the day,
It's a lot. It's a lot. And,
it's
and the
a,
bands don't
it's
complain.
hard.
Right. And I don't complain, but that's why I like to be the voice of the complainer. I like to be the old guy yelling at the internet for you guys, being like, hey, no
Thank
one's
you.
complaining about it, but we all know as a fan, think about it. When you get up, you're like, oh, it's a Monday. I'm tired. I don't want to go to work. Imagine having to go on stage and smiling for 2 hours because somebody had to drive and change their schedule to come see you, no matter how sick you are. I have days where I'm just dialing it in emotionally, you know?
Right.
So as an
Right.
artist to tour and do the hard part and then always be at your best, it's a challenge. So I also think I give artists some slack sometimes. They're having a bad night, and that's of any level, you know. somebody who's
Thank
just
you.
busted
Yeah,
on
yeah. You're telling it. You're telling the
on
gospel
Freetown.
here. I mean,
Well, I
there
am.
was three times. There was
Yeah.
three times in South America where I didn't. We didn't think about the fact of the elevation.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
and I got bad COPD. All right, three times I had to have oxygen brought to the gigs because we were playing one place. The first place that we played, right, it was called Impalace or something like that, Colombia, and we were 12,000 feet above sea level.
Oh, wow.
That's way the hell up. There's no air.
I
That
couldn't
kind of
do it.
stuff. You just do it. You
Well, the
somehow.
point is, you guys do it, but like, so that's not something that people can be thinking about. And I just think people should have that in the back of their head. They don't be like, "Oh, you're the best. Thanks for being a rocker." No, it's just like there are a lot of other steps before that performance for a break even point. So just so you know that they're putting a lot of effort in on that end to get to this part to put on a highly energetic show at this point in your life. You know, you love it. You put a lot of work into it, and just you know,
Yeah,
people should appreciate it
it's
because we've learned a lot has changed in the past few years.
it has, and so it's like I kind of I got jaded in certain ways. I admit that. It's like
We all
I
do.
want a little bit of money. Where's the piece of the pie after all this damn time? A little bit. Give me some crust.
Yeah,
Come on.
it's fair. No, it's
Not
fair.
that much to ask. You know?
Not for anybody to want to make money. I'm going to say if Zeppelin wants to sell a song to a car commercial, bless their hearts. You wrote the song.
Yeah,
How are you a sellout for letting your music do something else? Who cares if it's a
yeah.
video game or it's a cool? You think it's
Right. That
cool?
kind of crap is out the window to me nowadays. It's like, it's a
You're
big
selling
deal,
out,
man.
or
God bless
reunion
them,
is a
like you
money grab.
said.
Yeah, a money grab. I'm like, when you get back to work, when you go to work every day, is that a cash grab? No, you got bills to pay. So also you're in a mood to go back to work with somebody else. Maybe you want the magic. Maybe you do need the music, but you create a good musical environment that can foster a union. That's something you build. That's like a company.
It is. I gave it my whole life.
It's your brand, and
Yeah.
and only people that have a saying in that really I think is the band and the decisions they make. Is it hard if you fall in love with a certain lineup? Yes. Is it the end of the world? No. Be a grown up. You don't have to
Right.
listen to them, but to complain about it.
Yeah, you don't like what I do? Don't come.
Right. Right. And I'm not even putting all this weight on you either. I'm just saying, like, um, a big band, Aerosmith, doing a residency right in Vegas.
Uh-huh.
Uh, Tyler had to cancel a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, Scorpions did that. They
Right.
played like
Right.
2 weeks in the same
Yeah.
club.
Right. But they had to cancel it because his voice was bad. He had problems with health reasons. People are losing it, making too much money. If your voice hurts, do you think Steven Tyler, even at this point in his career, wants to cancel a concert? I don't think he does. I think it destroys him. It's not about money at this point. He's a performer, and you can't help it. It's not ha ha ha. He decided he's not in the back of like you doing like the Axl Rose not showing up for 3 hours before a show thing. Artists, if they have to
Right.
cancel, it's because they're sick. It costs the bands money to cancel.
It does a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when a band's sick and they push through it, it's even better, harder. And for you, you're a singer.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't change the strings. You know. So some
What do you
nights
do?
it's gotten rough.
Can you switch up the song
You
set? Do
just
you have easier songs you can do? Do you have any?
sometimes we'll take one or two out or switch a couple of them around, like that are hard as for me to
Yeah,
sing. And the band pretty much will adjust to my need in that sense because I can't change strings. I can't, what are you gonna do, right?
no, you are. That's
I'm
it.
all clogged up, right? And that's the way it goes.
You can, you can't do it. I mean, a guitar player can, key. Yeah, you change the strings. Drummer, you can tune this. You can play this. Even if you have a stuffy nose and be a guitar player, no one's going to know because
You
you're
can't
playing a
put a new
guitar.
throat in.
Right.
Yeah. I'll
You know.
just rent a new larynx for the night.
And as we learned from Bon Jovi this past year, if you everybody has watch Bon Jovi on YouTube, you can't dial it in with vocals nowadays because everyone's got a camera. And if there's a problem, it
Yeah,
will be out there. And
definitely.
the
Yeah.
world is not very forgiving, you know.
No, that's cold, man, to you.
So,
They really rank on you and get up your ass about it. It's like, oh man, he sucked on this one. It's like,
yeah,
give me a little bit of slack, man. That's all I'm asking.
I
It wasn't my
love.
night.
Who cares if you're on key or off key? I love a live performance, and that's why, like, I get where a band may not want to have some live bootleg out stuff, right? Whatever. But I'm the
Mhm.
fan that likes it as it is live. You're moving
Mhm.
around. You're
You like the
breathing.
spontaneity.
Yeah, man. I want to see it. I appreciate a live show. I don't care the band's on key. If I want on key, I'm gonna put the record on.
Liquor
And if
on.
it, right, you know what I'm saying? It may have been 8 years since they had a new record, but I'll put the band's record on if I want to hear it perfect.
Yeah, we're not perfect, you know.
But if you
I
want to see
mean,
a live show, you want sweat, you want things, you don't want a robot, you don't want a band with a laptop. You want a band, and I love the mistakes. I want a band to do an album that they want to experiment with, and if it's bad, good for you because you wanted to do something creative. It's up to the band, but to not let a band make mistakes or perform or have to be perfect is so un rock and roll.
it is because I get off on the squeaks and pops and
Yeah,
just all
yeah,
the spark of the moment. That's I tell people, what keeps me going up there. I can't breathe if I walk up 3 steps, but somehow with the grace of God and adrenaline, I can get up on stage and do the hour and 15 minutes, whatever, and pull it off, or slide by or, but, hey, I'm human.
that's awesome. No, I know, but
I'm human.
that's the whole point. I mean, and I think people need to realize that and appreciate these bands. Like I said, man, if like Atlanta wasn't too far away, I was going to come down and see all you guys.
That was
Especially
a
you.
real good show that night too.
Was
We
it?
put on a good one. Yeah, yeah, we did. Well, we only got 40 minutes
Well, there's
on
a lot of
stage.
bands on the bill.
Yeah, there were. Yeah.
There's not a lot of bills that you and Wino were on at the same time either.
We hadn't been. Scott and I were talking about that. We said, I told him in Huntsville because they played 2 gigs with us, right? That one
Yeah,
and the snowball thing. And I said, do you know we haven't played together in 40 years?
that's insane. Bananas.
Yeah, 2 old gray-haired guys are looking at each other going, son of a bitch. This is really weird. Yeah.
You guys got
But
to
it
do
was
something together. You know,
so
I mean, and Scott is just like you, just as chill as you. A while back, I went to this other show, and actually, I met him earlier before the show. I went up. His
did
girlfriend
you
came
see
up and
the
met
new
me.
the new 4-man deal with the 2 guitars?
Yeah, so I went
Yeah,
up
they're
there. I went up. I
great
went up
now.
behind. Yeah, they're awesome. I went up, so we did like a little talk before the show. I did a little spontaneous little interview, pre-interview before the show live. First interview I've
Mhm.
actually done in person. This whole COVID thing it was fun, and we hung out for a little bit, and then they got ready before they went on, and then I actually recorded the show and put it up there for them.
Right.
So it's up there. It's a fun show. Once again, it's live. It's fun. You know,
They're
it's
great.
it's yeah, it's fun. Yeah, you guys got to play together. That's got to happen.
Yeah.
You know.
We talked about it for God knows how, 7 or 8 years now, and it's just as the river runs.
I know. I know. This has been a treat. I
We
thank you.
procrastinate an awful lot.
This is well. I
Hey,
mean, let's see.
I'm honest. I'm painfully honest, like
No,
people
no, no.
tell
Well,
me.
you've got the time. Well, okay, you're open, right?
Yeah.
You got a couple things you can do. You can work on some music. Maybe do a couple local shows. You guys aren't that far from each other. You
No.
know,
Well,
you're
no,
not.
no. Now we're not.
Right,
Now he lives in Buffalo now.
right. So I mean, you guys are pretty close.
No, pretty close.
Well,
Buffalo. I'm in
you can live.
Maryland.
Well, it's still pretty close. We're on the same side of the. I'm used to talking to people all over the world. It's
I
pretty
don't
close.
drive. He doesn't drive.
All right.
He gets
He
to
rides his motorcycle. He likes to ride his motorcycle. All right. Maybe that way. But like time wise, it really doesn't seem as far if you guys do it like a couple of dates together. You guys can meet for dates. It's not like I'm not saying you're neighbors, like your Fred and Barney
I would
Rubble or
love
something.
love to tour with them, and then you can maybe then you get into the mode and you'd be like, well, let's sit down tonight and we can do a couple of
Right.
songs sitting on stool.
Right. Well, that's my point. Is you guys have a is an area you guys could tour like as I'm saying. Not like there are bands that are like every band member's in a different state or different country. Some people are actually different continents and are in the same band and they tour.
Yeah,
Is what I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
saying
You're
you
right.
guys selectively are not too far to figure out a little something.
Right, right. Yeah,
As a fan, I'm saying it. I get logistics and the reality of it might not be true.
yeah.
So
Right,
this is me just being a fan, dreaming of a great show.
right,
The
right.
dream lineup for me would be you two guys on the same bill.
Ah,
You know,
cool. Yeah,
so that's it. I,
I
I
hear
want to
you.
I want to thank you for coming on. This has been great. I mean, I know you had a struggle with technology, and
Yeah,
everything.
that, that's a big deal to me. Hey, I'm not handy Andy,
Here you are.
you
You're
know.
fine. You got this.
Can't
You got
turn
it.
the knob Bob. It's like, whatever.
I gotta tell you, I interview probably like hundreds of people right now, and everyone says the same thing as you do. There's probably only two or three people that usually go, "Do you want me to do audio on my side?" And like ask me a bunch of questions. Almost everybody says the same questions you do. Everyone has the same comfort level with Zoom and recording. Nobody's out there. I'm just saying that so everybody knows. No one's like a super high tech genius. You fumble with Zoom. The last minute, Zoom always has an update, so you're always running off. No matter, even with me, I deal with Zoom all day at work and on the show. It still
Good.
has a
I'm
last minute update
absolutely.
on me.
It doesn't make me feel like a fool now.
No, there's no such thing as a fool. Like everybody struggles with technology,
It's
even
true
an IT person.
because it's
So
running so
no,
fast.
it changes and updates. And you know what? Also, who cares? Who cares about being up to date with
You're
everything?
like me. Everybody always says, Bob, how do you have this knack for just letting everything roll off your back? And it's like my dad taught me when I was little, why are you getting all upset over something you have no control over? Yeah, it's
It's
true.
and most things, you know, the other thing, you wait long enough, not everything, it'll work itself out.
Yeah, yeah. And stress in the meantime will drop you.
Right. So, you know, and like I said, I work on
The hell
computers
with it.
and all day long people are like, oh my God, they're like they're freaking out of this. I'm like, literally it's just a toaster with a computer. It's just a stupid toaster. You can still pick this thing up and throw it across the room. You're still gonna win in a fight. It's not
Yeah,
that big a deal, right? It's an
right. That's
inconvenience.
good.
As long as it's not now, if it's like a Terminator
No way.
situation,
I can slam you on the wall. How do you
right?
like that?
You can still impose your dominance on this machine. Now, when it gets big and it's like you know, I'll be back. Then I'm like, all right, we got some problems. But right now,
Yeah, right now, screw
I
it.
can talk to my phone and I can just say enough of you. Like Siri, I have Siri turned off. So I don't want my phone talking to me. I'm like, you know,
Yeah,
it's not my thing. Technology is not.
yeah,
There's a
you're right.
limit to me. There's a limit. You know, it's
Yeah,
fun because I can do the show. It's fun because I can edit. It's fun because I can record my guitar and play and record a song for fun.
but
And
there's
that's it.
times when the overload says to you, just say, yeah,
Yeah. And that's what
it's
people
easy.
need to realize. You know, and
Yeah,
it doesn't be like a huge goal. I mean, like even our talk today was like a Seinfeld episode because a lot of talk about nothing, but it was about
yeah,
something
yeah.
because it was talking and it's important just to have a conversation about without a
Communication is the key, man.
right,
That's
but
all
without
it's
a huge
about.
goal. I mean, the end result, yes, on this channel, I like to show various artists that I love and enjoy, and I want people to be aware of
Yeah,
and or get an update on, or be aware of who this person is. Like I know who you are because we chat a little offline and whatever, back and forth
right,
sometimes.
right.
But I think the rest of the world needs to have these kind of conversations, you know, and realize what you really like. Because I mean, you watch if your image. I'm sorry, your image is that video, that darn movie, you know, to half the world. You're not that guy. I don't know who that guy
No,
is. I know that,
no,
but
it
like
was a
say,
little tiny clip in
right,
time, and that's it.
it's a
Itty
blip,
bitty.
right? 50 years of music, and you got one movie in 1 year. It was a rough
Yeah,
period. You got through it, but a lot of artists have had those lost weekends that have been 3 years. A
yeah.
couple of people have talked to, but the fact you get
I've
past it
been
is
that
more
I've
important.
been to that party more than
But
once,
the point is
but
that you're
I'm still
past
here.
that and you actually recover from it, and it's almost like has like an arc to the story. There's a success to it that you get this part here, and you're here. And I think
And you
anybody
beat
that
it.
sees that movie should have to watch and see a conversation like this with you, because you can't talk to everybody like this. There's no time in the world, but
Right.
people can see who you are.
Yeah.
This is who Bobby is right here. You
Yeah,
know,
it is. I'm just a regular old dude, man. It's like,
yeah.
hey,
You just happen to be very exceptionally talented when it comes to doing music that a lot of people enjoy. You know, and you're a nice guy, and it's important that people realize that. So
I can't fix a car engine, but
I can't either.
I
I don't
can.
even know all the cars. My family would be like, "So is that car so and so?" I'm like, "Dude, I have no idea. Like,
I
is it a
used to know
Volkswagen
makes and
Bug or
models. I have no idea.
is it a Volkswagen? Is it a Corvette? Like, I know some of the major ones, like especially near the day. Nowadays, everything looks the same. Everything looks gray and round to me. I know.
I came
I
home
get
from
it.
the airport last time in a brand new 2022 Tesla. Right?
Really?
It was
Yeah.
an Uber driver. He sat turned around talking to me The whole dashboard was one piece of wood with a computer screen. He didn't drive anything or touch anything all the way from DC, from Reagan Airport out to Germantown, Maryland. Nothing.
Are you
It
serious?
drove itself. I was flipping the fuck out.
I don't think I could do it. I don't think I have enough trust. I don't know if I can
He
go
was
into.
turned around. The other ones are sitting there and
I would
relaxing.
like
The car
pretend.
was driving itself, driving me home. I was
I would be like,
tripping
dude,
out. Yeah.
I'd like turn your back to me, and so your arms like this, so it looks like you're steering. So I have the illusion that you're steering this car like
Really.
this,
I'll
just so
do
you're
one of
like
these,
moving like
right?
this, yeah, just like this. So it
Yeah.
looks like you're driving because I can't deal with somebody looking at me in the car driving like the Jetsons because that's
It was
insane.
the Jetsons. It was. I said that to the guy.
That is
Wild.
absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
I just don't. I couldn't do it.
Yeah. The dashboard had nothing. There was nothing there. It was a piece of wood all across and a
I
little
mean
tiny computer
that's a
screen.
big stretch for somebody that is relaxed. Now I have trust issues. Like I haven't gone on one of these rock cruises yet because I'm afraid of now with COVID because of also sharks and like everybody getting like oceanside like if they eat something gets like the whole boat gets diarrhea or dysentery or something crazy or the boat gets stuck in shark water. So I can't even go on a boat right now.
We
All these
can
rock
try it in
cruises,
the ocean in Italy.
right? So but now I'm like, oh, these rock cruises look so good. I'm like, all right, maybe I'll do it,
Yeah.
right? But I'm almost there. The steering
You
wheel,
still got the little,
that's still too far away for me.
got the EBGBs a little bit still, right? Yeah, I
I don't
understand
know.
that.
I might. I'm getting close. I'm getting close. You know, we get over this year with Tori. I gotta be honest with you. There's some really good cruises now that are out there on the boats that I think I
They
could
are.
probably do it. You know,
It's fun. Cruises are neat. Yeah, when we've
yeah.
gone just country to country 24 hours on one of these huge things, it's got 5 floors and a shopping center in it. And
Well, I'm
yeah,
saying something. They have the rock cruises though too. They have all these specialized ones now
yeah,
too.
yeah, like the Kiss things and stuff like that, where you know, come out for 2 weeks and just
Yep.
have a blast with us, hang
Yes,
out.
Kiss, and then they have they have a couple rock ones. They got like a prog rock one, which is like every band on it. I think Gentle Giant was on, like everybody was on that one. I mean, it's like crazy.
Right. It is wild.
So I mean,
Yeah,
there's
who
so
would
much
have
out
dreamt?
there. They
Who
need
would
a
have dreamt?
doom. They need a doom psychedelic stoner one out there. One of you guys. You know,
With a kind of going,
the boat would be
too
like
much
one giant Cheech and
food.
Chong. This boat would be like a bong. It would just be like it would just it would just be the world's biggest bong boat. That would be funny, but it would be a good cruise though. That would be a lot of fun. You know that. Let's put that one in the books too while we're making up tour dates.
Okay.
But
Yeah, the
Bobby,
bonkers.
I want to thank you for coming on, man. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks for having me on, Sean. I appreciate
Anytime.
that.
Well, we'll have you
Hey,
back again. We'll check back in a couple of months and see where you're at with everything. Okay. I like having you on.
yeah, please do
You might
that.
have to guest
Please do
host.
that.
I think we'll have you back. Maybe I'll have you guest host with somebody. We've talked about it. We'll see what's going on this year.
Oh boy.
We have a couple
Yeah.
people we've talked about, so we'll keep it to ourselves. Um,
Yes.
and one of those
Yes.
persons has an
Don't
album.
want to.
No, don't jinx it. But they have an album that still's not been released yet. That person.
Right. It's supposed to be out
So
months and months.
I know a single went out last year, and we'll see what happens if it comes out. They may be a little more doing the press thing, and we'll see where you're at. Maybe we can do a little thing with you and me and that person. All right.
What a
Yeah.
what a trip.
If it can happen, it'll
That's
happen. I'll
that's
have
number
you.
one.
If I get it, I will definitely give you a call.
Give
If
me
I
a
get
shout
that.
out.
I promise you I will. I promise you will.
I'll
Even
be
not, we'll
Candy
talk before
Candy.
that.
So thank you.
I know. All right, check him out on his sites, please.
Check me out, man.